Hey, what's up, everybody? Stevie Breech coming to you in a good old video. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about the Money in the Bank pay-per-view on Sunday. I put up sort of like my preview to my predictions the other day, where I just was like, man, I think everybody has a good chance to win. The Money in the Bank matches and the WWF title matches up in the air, and I don't know. I like to thank everybody for checking out my Team Cena versus Team Rock video the other day. That was a pretty fun video to make, and I got an overwhelming, pretty good response. I couldn't believe all the comments I got. I like to really appreciate the people who made video responses to it. Just Bring It 1992, Bearstown 19, the C Nation fan 1996. Thank you very much. As everybody knows, I accept all the video responses that I get. So if you ever see a video that you like, just send one over. If you ever see something you don't like, just send that over too. I don't care. I'll take the hater nation as well. Money in the Bank, real big pay per view. One lucky guy out there on YouTube. Team Rai is going to be heading out to it. The Money in the Bank's in Chicago this year, and I just can't believe all the buzz this pay per view has. I said this pay per view probably has more of a buzz than WrestleMania 27 does because everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about the briefcases because they think that's going to play in to the the WWF title match with John Cena, CM Punk. Is Punk staying? Is Punk leaving? All sorts of things like I talked about with the contract the other day. I think there's things that can get tied in with the Rock video. All in all, man, this is awesome. I wish I could be in Chicago for this pay per view. It'd just be crazy stuff. But as every pay per view does, it has an undercard, and this undercard is just stuff that I don't know. I mean, Kelly versus Brie Bella for the Divas title. I think Kelly's gonna go over in this. She's the newer champion, and she has defeated Brie a couple times. But I do think that it is time that we see some other divas in the spotlight. The WB has a huge roster of girls, and we only get to see so many because they only have one title. I wish they would go back to having two titles, one for each show. That way, it wouldn't look like Raw had the better roster than SmackDown does. Just bring back the other belt. That way, you don't have to have both belts on the pay per view, but at least when you're watching the show and two girls are going at it on SmackDown, you know that it has a meaning to it, and they're just not throwing pillows around. Big Show versus Mark Henry in a singles match. I'm really hoping that Mark Henry wins this match. Not to put down Big Show, but I liked Mark Henry, his heel persona for a long time since about WrestleMania 22. When he fought Undertaker, they just really resurrected this guy from nothing, and I've always hoped that he was gonna do something. When he was the ECW champion, I thought that was pretty cool because the guy had been down in the dumps for so long, and looked at it like he was a jobber, and actually use this guy and his potential. It's just huge. I don't like the guy. I met him at Mania and he wouldn't even really talk to me or even look me in the eye. But I don't know. I think there's things they can do with this, and I'm missing that these two big guys are not in the SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match. I was really gonna think that Mark Henry had a chance to win this thing. My buddy O Phenomenal X Danny, he actually picked Mark Henry to win this before he wasn't in there, and I think it could have made sense. Then we'll jump back over to the Raw Money in the Bank ladder match. There's a lot of guys in here. I think everybody has a chance to win this, and yeah, that's right. Jack Swagger's gonna pick it up. All right, no, he's not. Jack Swagger's probably the only guy who doesn't have a chance in here. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna pick Evan Bourne to win this match because I think he's the one guy that deserves to push the most. And they've tried to use this guy a couple times. He sort of got hosed. They put that big sort of package on him up on Raw the other night, and then he went out and lost that match, but it didn't make any sense at all. But I think that is the meaning that they have. The guys that make the WWE films and the guys that make those promos, they don't do this for no reason. They wanted to put Evan Bourne in our mind for some reason, and I don't know. I just think he's the one guy that can make the biggest impact by winning this thing. He'd be, a big time, surprise on when he's gonna cash in, when he's gonna come out. A lot of people in this match are picking Del Rio for the one fact that he won the number one contenders match, that he's already came out on YouTube and he's challenged John Cena for SummerSlam and I believe it's E4 commercial or one of those video game cable channels, and that would make the most sense. But I think that Del Rio is going to become the automatic number one contender for SummerSlam. So I don't really see him having to use the cash in at all. And plus, I don't know. It was cool when Rob Van Dam used his cash in and he said, "We're gonna do it this day at this time on this pay per view," because they're building up the second ECW One Night Stand. But I don't really know if Del Rio would want to come out and challenge him. I think he'd want to use that surprise factor, especially with it being a heel. going out to win that world title. SmackDown Money in the Bank ladder match. Lots of good guys in here, and I was wrong in my prediction video. I thought that Kane wasn't in there, but Kane is in there, I guess. But anyways, I'm not picking him. It doesn't matter. There's a guy like Cody Rhodes who I really wish would do this because I think I see him as one of the better wrestlers in the WWE, and I think that they're not using him to his full potential. Even though I really like the push that he's in right now, I wish that he would take that mask off. I know the angle with Rey Mysterio wasn't that long ago, but I don't think he really needs it anymore. I think that that's gone through its whole phase. He can still use those guys bringing the brown bags down to the ring if he wanted to, but Wade Barrett is the guy that needs to come to his coming of age. I think he needs to take over SmackDown. I think he needs to become that big guy now that he doesn't have the core around him anymore. He could just be the heel that stands alone and then just is ready to kick some ass. And I think that's what they need over there. I've been a Wade Barrett fan for a long time, ever since really the Nexus. I really thought he was going to win the world title on Raw, and they should have done it a couple times, but they didn't. But Wade Barrett would be a good guy at the top of SmackDown, I do believe. The SmackDown World Heavyweight Championship match, you got Randy Orton against Christian. There's not a doubt in my mind that Christian's going to win this match because this feud needs to go for one more go round, and I think Orton being the challenger at SummerSlam, I think that I think that's that's the only real possibility you can do for this. And I think that they wouldn't add that if Orton gets disqualified or the referee makes a bad call, Christian automatically wins the title. I think it like a dream situation to me would be sort of like for the Eddie Guerrero thing where he would hit the guy with the chair and then he would throw the chair at the other guy and then he'd lay down, he'd play dead, and the ref would think that the guy used the chair against him, the whole cheat to win thing. I think that would be awesome if Christian used that. There's some way they're going to use this stipulation. They wouldn't just stick it up there for nothing at all. So I think that Christian is going to win this title somehow. If it is with sneakery, I would love for Christian just to win this title straight up and beat Randy Orton and can keep this feud going. But the whole screw over factor would be great. Getting into the whole screw over factor, John Cena against CM Punk for the WWE Championship. If Punk leaves Chicago with the title, John Cena is fired. There's so many ways you can do this. There's a small piece of me when I watched that Rock video. I've watched it like 3 or 4 times, just trying to listen to it because I do believe that The Rock walked out there with a script or a teleprompter. I do think that the WWF guys or somebody within this company writes his promos. I think he has to. There's no way he just walked out there and cut that on his own. There has to be a reason for that promo. Why did he go up that day? Why is it now when everybody's talking about Punk and Cena? They wanted people to remember The Rock. They want people to remember Mania. Those WrestleMania packages are going on Monday, and I'm sure people that weren't going to buy those packages are buying them now. Because he made a big impact in wrestling by making a promo in his backyard like he's one of us in the YWC. But I don't know. There's one thing that caught my mind in there. One thing really, really, he talked about at the end when he kept on repeating himself over and over again was that he does this for free. Well, not for free. Everybody knows he's getting some sort of kickback. He doesn't need the money. He's got the big house. He's got the pool. He's got this, that, and the other. He's doing all right, as he said. John Cena does this for a paycheck. That lines up into this whole John Cena getting fired thing. Let's say CM Punk does win that title and he walks out. There's always going to be some sort of angle they can get that title back, get CM Punk back. I honestly really think that guy is re-signed. There's a part of me that hopes he didn't re-sign and we see something amazing. There was one thing on the Ghana podcast where Punk actually did win and take that title, and they had to show these sort of YouTube fan cams of John Cena stalking CM Punk as he's working like the indie scene or around different events. To actually send CM Punk to Japan, let him chase him down. I think WWF would be all right, not having that title, and I'm sure New Japan or any other company out there would love to have CM Punk the WWF Championship and John Cena show up on their show just to create buzz. Plus, they're going to show it on Raw. I think that would be amazing. Anybody, who doesn't, think that's, possible, go back to ECW when you had Taz beat a WCW superstar for the ECW championship. You had all 3 companies in one ring for one match. And that was an extreme situation because, sort of Mike Awesome, who was the champion, didn't give his days, just sort of dicked out and signed a WCW title. Anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, either message me or look it up. Mike Awesome versus Taz ECW Championship. Then you actually after that on SmackDown that week you had Taz show up, a WWE wrestler show up with the ECW Championship on SmackDown with ECW superstar Tommy Dreamer to face Triple H for the title. So this crazy crap has happened before. So I don't know. I think if Cena gets fired, he'd be able to come back and do this stuff for free because that's how much he cared about the WB fans, um, all that. That's one crazy thing. Maybe I should have made my own video about that because I just ranted about it for a couple minutes in my prediction video. But I don't know. I really don't know. There's so many different things that go through my mind about this, but I'm gonna pick CM Punk to win it because CM Punk's the man right now, and there's so many different ways they can go with it. So, thank you very much for everybody watching my video, my prediction video. Let me know if you send over video responses. I will accept them. Send over some comments, and it's gonna be great. Hopefully, I can check out this whole pay-per-view. There's a good chance that I can watch it. It matters what I'm doing with work and all that jazz. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm working my magic today. Thank you very much.